guest speaker. Are you okay with that? Excellent. Thank you very much. All right. With that said, our next guest is Monica. Monica is here for Dinesh. Monica, can you please put yourself off mute and tell us a little bit about yourself and what drew you to the meeting tonight?
Hello, hi, this is Monica. I'm here because of my husband. He joined for 2 Toastmasters and I'm taking this one, which I wanted to join. My background is I'm from India and I have done my MBA back in India. I was a homemaker for past 9 years, taking care of the kids. Recently, I got a job as a .NET developer, so I have been in the IT for quite for 1 year, I guess. So again, the project has been done, and again, I'm in the job market right now. Between me getting into the job market, I just wanted to improve my social skills. I want to improve how I present myself to others. So that's the reason why I'm in Toastmasters.
Thank you very much, Ms. Monica. Our last but not the least guest tonight is Ms. Deadman. I know who you are, but I'd really like you to introduce yourself to us. Mami Deadman, the floor is yours. Please put yourself off mute and introduce yourself in 15 seconds or less. Over to you. She's still on mute.
I can take, oh, there she is. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, all right,
Yes.
go ahead.
Yes, my name is Mamie Deadman. I am Tamika's mother. And I know Val is a very good friend of mine. And I just thought that I would come on tonight to hear my daughter speak and to join all of you. It's very nice being here tonight. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Mamie Deadman. Is it Mamie or Mamie? Mamie. Okay, yes. Mamie Deadman. Sorry, you're going to pardon me. I probably will mispronounce that one more time. But the good news is that I'm not a Toastmaster, so yeah. I'll leave it for Ohe. With that said, distinguished Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, guests, I really like to welcome you again to this meeting tonight. We've got a packed agenda, and I just want you to sit back, relax, learn, enjoy, have fun. See what you can take away from this meeting tonight, because I know for sure, except one is not listening, there's something for everyone at this meeting tonight. To drive this meeting is our Toastmaster, and it's no one else other than our Vice President of Education, the person that I'd like to address as Dr. Ohe Alba. Ohe, the meeting is completely yours. Please take it away.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, it's really my privilege and my pleasure to be here tonight as the Toastmaster of the evening for the Southwest Project Management Toastmaster Club. For the benefit of our guests, and we have many tonight, I'm going to explain the structure of this meeting. So we are going to divide the meeting in 3 parts. The first part is what we call the prepared speeches round, where our members, and in this case, a guest speaker, are going to present 3 very interesting speeches. And I already have a peek on what people is going to be talking about tonight. So you are going to be thrilled with the presentation we are going to have tonight. The second part will be the table topics round. We may need to cut it short because we had to start a little bit late tonight, but I let that to the table topic masters to decide. And then the last part will be probably one of the most important parts of the Toastmaster meeting, which is the evaluation round. Is when the evaluators in our evaluation team are going to evaluate the speakers of the evening. Now, the theme of the day is trustworthiness. We are only trusted when others think of us that we are worthy of their trust. There are practical advantages and disadvantages of being trustworthy or not being trustworthy. First of all, we have an emotional reward when other people trust us. When they give us that level of leeway because they don't need rules from us or from them. It's like an intrinsic contract that we have with other people, that we know that we can satisfy our obligations. When people believe in us, and therefore we know that they believe on us, there is a consistency statement that others know that we are always trustworthy with our word and with our actions. Being trustworthy also is an emotional satisfaction because we increase our self-esteem and we validate our good character. So trustworthiness is very important in professional affairs, but it's even more important, it's a more important and valuable assets in personal relationships. Personal relationships, trustworthiness is indispensable. The downside of being trusted is that we must constantly, every day, live to the expectation of others. So that way we can remain competitive in self-serving behavior that we know that people can trust in us. So there are 4 major characteristics that I want you to take away from tonight. To be trustworthy, we have to have integrity. We have to have honesty. We have to have reliability. And I know we are going to hear more about the reliability later. And we have to have loyalty. So remember, before getting into this, if you want to be trusted by others, we have to have those 4 characteristics. So before we start the meeting, I want to introduce our role bearers of the night. And I'm going to start with our general evaluator. So our general evaluator for tonight is going to be, and I have to look into agenda because I didn't have it prepared. It was going to, our general evaluator, I know it was going to be Abby, but Abby couldn't make it to the meeting. So Mr. President, I don't know if, I guess I can perform as a general evaluator too. Okay, so I'm going to be also the general evaluator for the meeting. So I'm going to have to trustword my evaluation team. So the first member of my evaluation team is going to be my grammarian. So I let Tosin describe a little bit about what role is going to be tonight, and also to introduce the word of the day. Tosin?
Yeah, thanks, Jorge, and thanks for the opportunity to be part of this event today. I will be the grammarian today, and what I will do is to introduce the word of the day. I will be catching positive phrases. I would also ensure that I also catch grammatical corrections. And after the event, I would also give my report. Having said that, the word for the day is reliable. And reliable essentially means to consistently be good in quality and in performance. You can also relate to being reliable as being excellent. And that is very, very important because it also ties into the word that I talked about, which is trustworthiness, in the sense that if we must achieve our goals, if we must achieve the different vision, mission, objectives that we do have in our various lives, in our career, in our personal life, in our health life, then we must consistently ensure that we are excellent in the things we're doing. We must also ensure that we're reliable. And if we're reliable, you are almost very sure that people watching will be very happy to do business with us. We're very much happy to refer us. And of course, the ultimate thing, the ultimate goal is that when we're reliable, we're excellent, we're trustworthy, the ultimate goal is that we'll consistently have good success. So once again, the word for the day is to be reliable. So I'll be watching out for, Toastmasters to use that word, reliable. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Grammarian. So the second person that is going to be helping me tonight very much is our accountant. I believe that we just selected an accountant a few minutes ago. Akim, I don't know who was the person.
No, we were saying that the grammarian can double as the accountant because
okay.
I thought it would be too easy for Ms. Jones to just be the accountant tonight. So she will be an evaluator. And then I will be the timer and the ballot counter.
Okay, so with that, I guess we have everybody that we need for the meeting tonight. That's our evaluation team. So I guess we can start our meeting with the part 1, the prepared speeches. So the first speaker for tonight, according to the schedule, was Rafia. Rafia will be talking about the benefits of paper books versus electronic books in children's. Rafia's topic tonight is going to discuss the advantages of having electronic books in the digital world, but also paper books have a special place in the little children's world. Paper books can be held, they can be carried, they can flip the pages, and they can smell the ink. So Rafia is going to explore tonight with us more about paper books and the impact that they have on little children. Rafia, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Before I start my speech, and as you mentioned, the topic of my speech is benefit of paper books versus electronic books in children, I want to ask my audience a question. I want you to think, when you hear a word book, what comes in your mind?
Paper.
Paper, that's correct.
Knowledge.
Knowledge,
Yep.
that's true.
Entertainment.
Entertainment.
School.
Cover.
School.
Information.
Power, exactly. So
Story.
if I go for the, yeah, what's that, Soma?
Story.
Story, that's right. So if I go for the dictionary meaning of book, the book is a written or printed work consisting of pages glued or sewn together along the side and bound in covers. And that's what we think when we hear about the book. And the book is something that you can hold, and you can carry, you can flip the pages, you can respect it. And that's what the book is about. But now with the advancement of technology, we see the ebooks have been introduced. The first ebook was introduced in 1971 by Michael S. Hard. He was the one who launched the project of Gutenberg, and that was the digitalization of Declaration of Independence. By the year 2000, the ebooks and the paper books, they were going side by side. But by the time we reached 2010 year, so the digital books, they took over. They took over the paper books, and then it was available in many topics, in many titles, and it was all over the world. In all the publications, the digital books, they took over, and they were kind of in majority. So the digital books, they do have their own advantages, of course. You can carry them easily, they are inexpensive, and you get the variety of topics. So that is something that you can get benefit from. But before I go for the children, I would like to mention that when I'm saying the children, so I'm saying the children from 0 to 6 years of age. And this is the age this is the age of the kids when they're exploring the world. They're exploring the real world. So before we, like I work in this group of children, so I know before we go for any abstract, we want to show them the concrete. And what is concrete? We want to show them a real pineapple before we show them the picture of the pineapple. We want to show them the real tree so that they can explore. They can have the exposure of that real thing before going to the picture of the tree. So that's how we do. And in the same way, we do that with the books also. We want them to be exposed with the real books before going for the digital books. Sorry, I forgot to share my screen here. Let me just turn it on. I'm sorry, I'm not so good in that, but I will try my best. Share screen. Okay, here it is. So we want them to explore the real books. Okay, so that's what we do. And when we are saying, as I said, that when we are saying the children, it means they're 0 to 6 years of age. And of course, they like to hold, they like to flip the pages. This is all the activity they want to do with that. And there are numerous advantages of paper books. And I'm going to share here. Okay, So the paper book that that has the advantages that it has the learning capabilities. The children, they learn more. They are involved more in the paper books compared to the digital books like the source of computer or tablets. And then initiating conversation. We all know that language is very important part in creating and learning their languages. So when they are sharing the real book, there's possibility that there is going to be more conversation going on along the side. And from the health advantages, and especially the blue light emitted from screen places additional stress on readers' eyes, leading to increased fatigue, comprehension problem, and even headaches. This is another thing. Okay, and then another benefit is motor development skills. You know, this is very important for kids to learn their motor skills while they're doing their work. The kids, they can carry the book and they can flip the pages and they can hold the book, they can smell the ink. So it is kind of a great advantage when they are holding it, when they're using the book, and it's going to develop their motor skills. And then it's less distractions. And definitely the paper books, they don't have the provision of browsing. So definitely the kids are going to be more focused with that. And then we are going to, the next is learn as they go. Readers can feel their progress through course with printed books by gauging how much they have read. Ebooks just don't offer the same level of satisfaction. And of course, when you are just looking at the book, how much you have read, how much is left. So of course, you have something to see. You can physically feel it. And then note taking, and of course the note taking is not so, it doesn't go well with the little kids, but of course there are advantages of taking the notes on the side. And another thing is that book collection and forming a library, and this is a very healthy habit within kids. They want to have their own library, their personal library. They want to have the collection of the books. They want to read it many times. So that's what it is for. So it's the best hobby for them to have their own personal library. Okay, when I'm saying one thing that I would like to mention here, that when we are talking about the books, the selection of the books are very important in kids. What kind of books you are selecting, because kids are great in their aesthetic sense. A lot of times we think that these are kids, they might not be knowing if the pages are torn, if they are dusty. No. In my experience, whenever there's something that's neglected, if the pictures are not clear, they are not good, or they are torn, the kids would never touch them. So if you're getting some books for your kids, for your grandkids, for your niece or nephews, I want to show you some of the pictures that are beautiful, and some of the authors, they have the beautiful illustrations, and that will help you to choose the book, and you will see how beautiful they are, that automatically the children or the adults would be attracted to them. Like this is the picture of one book that I got from my library, from my school library. And this is simple, and the words are simple, and the pictures are very simple and clear. And look at this book, and look at this page, and you will see the birds, and you will see a lot of things that are close to the nature. There's no fake things. Things are all natural. The pictures and even the words are little, and they're in big font. This is something that we would like to offer our kids. Then look at, again, this picture. It's very simple. And I hear birds singing through the open window. Then this is another one. So look at this beautiful picture. This is the scene of a snow, a house in the village. Look at this one. Okay, so in the end, I would like you to please think about that what do you want to offer to your kids? Do you want to put some extra effort and bring them the special thing in their life, or do you want to leave them on their own? Thank you so much. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Rafia. Excellent speech. Let's take a minute from everybody. Mr. Timer, if you can give us 1 minute so we can send in the chat comments to Rafia for 1 minute? Just go to the chat and send the comments directly to her, please.
And Mr. Toastmaster, just a quick point of order. I know that Ms. Jones will be providing the evaluation of Rafia's speech.
Mhm.
And then the second speech, are we following the agenda now, or you would prefer that Summer deliver the second speech while we wait for our guest to deliver the third speech?
Yeah, let's Tamika, do you think that you are ready to give the second speech, or you still want to go last in the,
She's
in the
ready.
agenda?
She is ready.
Okay, so we can let her go to the second speech then.
Okay, and then you are going to evaluate her speech.
That is correct, yes.
Okay, and then Jessica is going to evaluate Summer.
That's right.
Okay.
All right, 1 minute. Mr. Toastmaster. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Timer. So our second speech, I'm very glad that we have our guest speaker tonight, Tamika. Tamika, hold on, give me 1 second, please. Tamika Glasper is a maintenance and reliability engineer professional with many, many years of experience in maintenance, project engineering, reliability, and leadership. Tamika, or Tammy, has been married to her husband, Mark, for over 23 years, and they have 3 children together. Tammy likes spending time with her family on her off days from work. She lives in Pasadena, Texas, where she also works at Stefan Chemical Company. Tammy has attended some Toastmasters meetings as an invited by Mrs. Val Jones, and she just released a book, and actually her speech tonight, the title of her speech is Layers of Protection Related to Risk Management. So if you want to hear a little bit more, learn a little bit more about what she's going to talk about tonight, you can go ahead and get the book on Amazon. So with this, I'm going to let Tammy start her speech. I understand it's 5 to 7 minutes, Tammy. Is that correct?
Yes.
So the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. And for presentation mode,
Do you want me to share my screen?
yes.
Yeah, can you let
Okay,
her?
I would try. Just hold on. Share screen. Let's see. Let me know when you can see my screen.
Yes, we see it. Thank you.
Is that in presentation mode?
It is now.
Fantastic. Okay.
Okay, great. Good evening, Mr. Toastmaster, General Evaluators, Toastmaster members, and honored guests. I am thankful to be with you today. My title has only 3 words, layers of protection, but the impact of layers of protection is enormous. I have a story I would like to share with you today about when I worked at a specialty chemicals company in Alvin, Texas. Now, my friends, we all have heard of probably layers of protection, but today we'll see why layers of protection are important. Let me take you back where I used to work. April of 2018. At that time, I was the mechanical integrity team leader of engineers and inspectors, and the plant had given a flyer to everyone announcing we're going to have this big safety day. Next slide. The location was in Chocolate Bayou. The flyer said, bring your family. Unfortunately, my husband was working that day and my kids were in school, but other coworkers brought their children and the event was absolutely amazing. There was extensive preparation. And for at least 2 months before the event, different departments were preparing for this event. Next slide. It was a spectacular celebration. Next one. There were tents, there were safety tents established. Inside the tents, there were tables, and each department had their own table. And of course, mechanical integrity, we had a table with giveaways for the kids and lots of information about our department. Okay, next slide. There was also a parade. For those of you who are familiar with the chemical plant, buggies were decorated with different themes related to safety. It was amazing. It was so fun. Also, I was in charge with securing a DJ, and I love music. So to that, I said, no problem. I found a DJ, he played music outside, and everyone was having a great time, at least for the time being. Miniature golf and other fun activities were there as well. And balloon making, and of course, face painting for children. Then there was a turn of events. As I was sitting at the reliability and mechanical integrity table, giving away things to those who were coming by, I was speaking to my coworker who was standing at the table as well, and we were having a great conversation. All of a sudden, we heard kaboom! And I couldn't believe it. It was slow motion. My coworker grabs his ear, and I stand up to see what was the commotion. And I walk over to see what was going on. And there was a lady who was on the floor. It turns out, next slide, that she had brought into the tent a container of liquid nitrogen. She thought it would have been a really great idea to show the kids and family this liquid nitrogen over the table and bubbling up. The problem was the nitrogen was not in a canister approved for liquid nitrogen. It had a lid on it, and anyone who knows anything about liquid nitrogen, it builds pressure. So it needed to be a reliable vented container to allow the pressure to escape. But the person who worked in the lab did not even know that. She did not even have a proper procedure. That brings me to the fact that the woman had metal, because it was a stainless steel can, metal particles in her back that caused injury. And she had to be life flighted away on safety day. We could not believe it. Well, thankfully, the woman was okay. And after a couple of months and removal of the metal shrapnel, she returned to work. But this reminded me of two main forms that could have prevented this incident. Number one, it was project management, which you all are very familiar with, and having proper stage gates in order to manage this safety event. Even though it was one day, there's no scope that's too small to apply the principles of project management. The second one that could have prevented this incident is called layers of protection. Here's an example of a really high level look at project management with the gray areas representing stage gates. It starts with an idea or a concept of a project. Then the next step is development. Then production, the rollout, and support. Well, in between the stages, there are certain checks to make sure that we have, first of all, mitigated any type of risk that are associated with cost, schedule, resources, people, and we make sure that the proper approvals take place in those at those stage gates. And the second thing that I mentioned that could have prevented the incident It's the Swiss cheese model, or something known as layers of protection. These are different ways to prevent a hazard from becoming a full incident or a miss in schedule or a mishap. We want to keep people as safe as possible. So these layers of protection are really important. And as you all know, we recently saw layers of protection with COVID-19, with one layer being wear your mask, another layer being social distancing, and the final layer just being sanitary and washing our hands. So when I think back of this particular situation, a layer of protection could have been proper PPE, the appropriate canister for liquid nitrogen, and a procedure for the lab to implement the chemicals being released out into the safety tent. The importance of project management and planning, and the importance of layers of protection and risk assessment should not be overlooked. I challenge you not to avoid going through the proper procedures and to avoid shortcuts, because there's always time to do it safely. And communication is the key for team building and risk mitigation, not only in our own teams, but across to other teams as well throughout the organization. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tammy. Great presentation. Thank you for joining us tonight and for giving us this great presentation for this project management team. I mean, this is very appropriate for what we do every night. And again, I want to remind everybody here tonight that you can go into the PMI site and actually use this for the hours that you need for continuous education on the PMI certification. So again, Mr. Tammy, if you can give us 1 minute so we can send comments to Tammy on the chat, please.
Also, I would like to say thank you, Mom, for your support. I appreciate it.
One minute.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Timer. Well, our third speaker of the evening is one of our newest or youngest member of this team, which is also tonight preparing the speech that she will be presenting at the international competition that is coming on May 4th. On March 4th. Soma will be representing Southwest Project Management at that competition. So tonight, she's going to do an introduction of on the mandala art and how she practiced this art form. Soma has been practicing mandala art for the last 5 years. This is one of her hobbies, and she tries to practice this art in a more mindful and to become more aware of her surroundings. Today, she is going to show how she was introduced into mandala art and what tools and design methods she follows to create her own mandala art. So with this, please let us give a round of applause to Soma.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Today I will start my speech with a story of a new GIS professional who had 2 little kids and who was struggling to maintain work-life balance. Back then, and it is my story. Back then, I found myself having a hard time quieting down. My mind just couldn't slow down. The harder I tried, the louder my mind chatters. So one day I was sitting at a Starbucks shop, and I came across with an adult mandala coloring book with bunch of colored Sharpies. I suddenly found myself excited to find a perfect mandala to color. And an hour and a half later, I found that I was almost spent 90 minutes coloring my first mandala art. That day, I not only discovered a new hobby for me, but I also found a new way to practice mindfulness. Later, I started to practice the art by myself at my own pace. And to me, drawing or coloring mandala art is a process of communicating with myself. I feel self-contained and focused while I practice mandala art. Now let me introduce the word mandala to you all. Mandala, it's a Sanskrit word, and Sanskrit is an ancient Indian language. The literal meaning of mandala means it's a circle. However, it can mean anything that is round or circular. And this mandala generally have a one identifiable center point, and from which an array of symbol or shapes goes outwards. There are some basic steps, basic tools that we need to create our own mandala. For example, we need compass, protractor, pencil, eraser, drawing book, black fine point pen. Here, I would like to say that I am not sponsoring any company here, but I found Sakura is a reliable pen for Sakura company. Ballpoint pen is a very reliable pen for me. However, Micron or Peat or other Sharpies pen works really good to draw mandala art. Now, to start our mandala art, we need to use geometry. We can start with a center point and then use a compass to draw a circle with a certain radius or diameter. Now, using a protractor, we need to divide the whole circle into equal parts. So for example, you have a whole circle, which means it's a 360 degree. And if we would like to divide the whole circle into 12 parts, then we need to divide 360 by 12. That means each equal part will be 30 degree. So now, using your protractor, point down the 30 degree points on the periphery of the circle. And now you connect the center and those 30 degree points. This line will be a general guideline for you to draw your mandala art. But here, I would like to give you a tip that if you can draw this line very softly, then it will be easier for you to erase this line later, because these are all your guidelines. This is not your design. They will help you to create your own design. Now I will discuss, there are a couple of steps that you can follow to create your own design. Number one, as I mentioned earlier, first to draw the circle and then divide it into equal parts. Number two, choose a particular shape and colors for each section of the mandala. Number three, make your design simple. Number four, start your design from the center point and then work outward and draw each section by hand. Find your own style, use your imagination. And this last step, erase all the guidelines and then start to color your own mandala using your own imagination. There are some extra guidelines that I can provide here, that repetition is a key when we are drawing mandala. Looking at the shape that connect the bottom one grid point to the top of the next guideline and then back down to the next breakpoint. Repeating design around the center circle will make the mandala elaborate and big. And I prefer to draw with a pencil first and then trace over it with black pen later. I hope I was been able to give you all a guideline or at least try to draw a picture how to draw your own mandala. I hope you all will try to start to work on your own mandala. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Soma. Thank you. Very good. Very interesting presentation. I'm sure that you are going to do great at the competition, the district competition coming next month. With this, Mr. Timer, can you give everybody 1 minute to send comments to Soma also? And in the meantime, did every speaker qualify tonight?
No, I was actually going to use my authority as the timer and the president to allow us to vote for everybody. But Soma did so well that it would be unfair for me to not allow her to be the only one that will be winning tonight. Rafia spent 8 minutes and 51 seconds. I actually changed our speech to 5 to 7 minutes because of the slow start, but still she went over the line. And then of course, Ms. Tammy spent 8 minutes and 17 seconds. I was gonna give her up to probably 7 minutes and 45 seconds because of the slight changes, but she went beyond that as well. So unfortunately, only Soma qualified from a time standpoint.
Okay, but
Thank you.
I guess we can still go ahead and vote for the 3 speakers then, or is that what you propose?
Yeah, we can decide to vote for the 3 of them.
Okay, all right.
We can decide to vote for the 3 of them. So let me, just give me a moment
All right.
to set up the poll.
So while you prepare the ballot, I just want to remind all our members and guest speakers that timing is a very important part of a presentation. And especially if you are in any of the contests, you will see that you may be doing great, but if you get above the time that you are allowed, you will be disqualified, and that's kind of a pity. So we have to learn to manage, to properly project manage our speeches and the segments of our speeches, so we know that we are going to allocate X amount of minutes for the introduction, for the body of the speech, for the conclusion. So that's very important that we learn to manage that too. So we have the ballot there. If everybody can see it, please go ahead and vote for one of the speeches. Okay, did we got everybody votes now? Akeem?
Yes.
All right. So I guess with this, we conclude our part 1 of our meeting tonight. So we are going to get ready to move into part 2, which is the table topic Toastmasters. So with this, I'm going to let our table topic Toastmaster of the evening, which is Upai, to take over.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. I want to sincerely apologize that where I am, I may not be able to show my video. I am here at this time because I want to be reliable, because I've already signed up to be the TT tonight. So permit me to handle this without showing my video. Tonight, our word of the day, we're told, is reliable. And my question is going to be around reliability. I would rather want to ask if I can have maybe volunteer for the question I'm going to ask. If not, I will be able to pick up anyone to answer the question. Is there anyone who is willing to attempt the question? Some of the things, synonyms I got about
Tosin.
reliable,
Tosin has
positive.
raised his hand.
Yes.
Hi.
Okay, okay. So some of the synonyms I got from reliable was positive, dependability, predictable, authentic, good, honest, and trustworthy, faithful. Now, the question I want to ask, this is a comment that is from Warren Buffett, and he says, we look for three things when we hire people. We look for intelligence, we look for initiative or energy. We also look for integrity. And if we don't have the latter, which is integrity, the first two will kill you. The question I want to ask you, Tosin, do you agree with Warren Buffett? If you do, why?
Yes, I believe that I agree with Warren Buffett to a large extent. And the reason for agreeing with the fact that when you are able to show high level of integrity, even though you're not probably considered so much of a smart person or so much of an intelligent person, and even if you don't probably have so much energy or you're not able to use so much of your initiative, as long as you have that integrity, that will eventually speak for you. Because if you say you want to do something and you don't stick by your word, then people will not take you serious. And once people do not take you serious, it's almost certain, it's almost guaranteed that people would not like to, people wouldn't like to in any way associate themselves with you because they know that you're not true to your words. So again, I would say that I do agree with Warren Buffett to a large extent, that in terms of scale of preference, integrity outweighs initiative or energy and intelligence.
Thank you so much, Tosin. I completely share in the same view. We can be smart, we can be hardworking, but integrity counts a lot, because when the chips are down, it is who you are that matters. Thank you. Then my next question, who is willing to take it up?
Maybe I suggest one of our guests to raise their hand and
Yeah, I was going to call up
participate.
Monica, if Monica can answer the next question. Monica, are you there? Maybe she's not. What about Miss Jones? Hello, Miss Jones, are you there? What about Mamie? Otherwise, we'll have to call on Tammy again. So Tammy, I guess you are the only one we can see your face right now. So
Okay.
Thank you for now. Thank you for not disappearing on us. So
Okay.
all
I'm
right,
ready.
Mr. Table Topics Master, Tammy is ready.
Thank you, Tammy. And thank you for that presentation. I've learned a lot. So my question for you is this. I am looking at reliability, both in terms of character and in terms of product. And now I want to ask you, you have watched an ad on the television of a product which you think fits into your need, and you're able to purchase that product based on the promises from the ad. When you got the product delivered and you put it to use, you were really disappointed because what was promised was not what you got. What was your reaction?
Thank you very much. Yes, I have a recent example of a product that I saw, and it seemed like the best massage chair on the market. It's called Relax, and I got the chair, and I actually ordered it off of Amazon. I used the chair for a couple of weeks, and it was advertised that it was reliable. The definition of reliability, because this is what I live every day, is the probability of equipment to perform its function under certain conditions for a certain period of time. Well, let me tell you, this chair was not reliable. In fact, it's not working right now. And it was such a disappointment because I work all day long and I just want to come home to a nice massage. And now the electronics of the chair are broken. So I would like to say that it's very important for products to be reliable and for the warranty to be valued, because now I am on the phone with customer service to try to troubleshoot this unreliable massage chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tammy. You are not alone. And it really made me feel that the word of the day tonight is something that is really applicable to each and every one of us, whether in character or in product. And this case is product. And that is what we just passed through in an experience we had. So thank you for that answer. Mr. Timer, how many more can we go?
I think in order for us to be back on track, we maybe should be okay with those two. If that's fine, because it's 7:32, and per the agenda, we should be evaluating speech number 1 right now. Mr. Toastmaster, what do you think?
Yes, I think we can get another one. I think we
Okay,
have probably
Mr.
plenty of time.
Toastmaster said we should go for another one.
Okay, thank you. And this last one, this third question, do I have a volunteer or do I have just appoint someone to do that? If I have to, can I ask you, Mr. President, if you can respond to this question?
Sure. I mean, I don't have a choice, I guess. All right, go for it.
Okay. We are talking about reliability, and we've seen the one on a person, we've seen now on product. And the question I want to ask is, if you notice a friend who is really not reliable, who is not honest, what will you do? Would that affect your relationship?
Thank you very much, Mr. Table Topics Master. To answer that question, I must first define friendship. What does friendship actually entail? It entails honesty, genuineness, being fair to each other, saying it as it is, if you are truly friends. So if I have a friend that is unreliable, I have a responsibility. In fact, to use the legal terms, I have the duty of care to let this individual know how I feel about their unreliability. And I don't know who is hearing me tonight. Are you reliable? What will your friends say about you? Can your friends say you are reliable? Or do you even have friends that are unreliable? I am challenging you tonight. Choose reliability and be very honest. Either be very honest with your unreliable friend or be open to receive feedback from your friend who may find you. Going back to that question, Should I have a friend who is unreliable? I am going to be the first to be very open and honest with that friend. Please, if we're going to continue to be friends, these and these are areas that I see opportunities for you to come up higher and be better. Back to you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much. That was really hitting the hammer right through the nail. And I also like the way you went ahead to also address the next question I wanted to ask, because sometimes we look at things from the other's own point of view or the way the other person is doing. But you were able to address, we also need to think, are we actually the one that are not reliable? So that was great. And that concludes our second part of the meeting, which is the impromptu speech. I return it back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Mr. Table Topic Masters. Great questions and great answer from everybody here. Again, I think we have a great group of people here that are very reliable too. That was excellent. So with this, Mr. Timer, did all the table topics participants qualify?
Yes, sir. They are qualified, and I can launch the poll right away.
Perfect, perfect. So let's launch the ballot so we can go ahead and vote for our table topic speakers. Tough decision, I know. Everybody did very, very, very well tonight. So if everybody casts their ballot, I guess we can conclude the second phase of our meeting tonight. And we are ready to move into the general evaluation aspects of the meeting. So since I'm the general evaluator, so I'm going to pass the baton to myself. And we are ready to start the general evaluation. So this part of the meeting is very important because that's where we provide constructive feedback to our speakers so they can become better speakers and better members of this team. So for me, this is what I receive the most benefits of participating in Toastmasters. That's what has given me the tools to grow as a speaker better than anything else. So with this, I am going to call the first evaluator of the evening, and that will be Mrs. Ball. Mrs. Ball will be evaluating Rafia and her presentation on the use of books, real books, for small kids. Ms. Val, the floor is yours.
Hello, Rafia. I wanted to say that I truly, truly enjoyed your speech. These are just my opinions, and I have developed an evaluation tool, which is called POD, P-O-D. The P stands for preparation, the O stands for opportunities, and the D stands for delivery. I truly enjoyed your introduction. You were so engaging with the audience. I could tell that you did a lot of research on this topic. The topic, the benefits of paper books versus electronic books in children. I believe that is a wonderful, it was dynamic. I can really resonate with that topic. I also wanted to also say that in your preparation, I noticed you ask a question in the beginning. What comes to mind when you speak about a book? I like that. That was just amazing. Now, these are some things to consider as far as the O for the opportunities. I noticed that you gave examples of some benefits. You gave us about, correct me if I'm wrong, you gave about maybe examples of some of the benefits of a paper book. And then you also gave us some examples of the electronic book. But I noticed when you do that, always have the equal amount of benefits for both. You know, just kind of balance it out. You know, but it was great what you said. Also, another opportunity is I would like to see a little more vocal variety in your voice. You know, show us that this is a topic that you really like. You want to inspire your audience. So show us in your voice and in your gestures. And the D for delivery, which is also, I could just say it's also your presentation. Your presentation was excellent. You were very engaging and you gave good information. So wrap it up together and give yourself a big applause because I truly enjoyed your delivery, your presentation, and all of the other values of the electronic books as opposed to the paper book. Thank you, Rafael.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Val. Very, very good evaluation. Thank you very much. So the second evaluator, it will be myself, and I will be evaluating Tammy, our guest speaker tonight. So Tammy, once again, thank you very much for taking the time to come and present to us and bring your knowledge to us and share it with us. I think you have a very good presentation there. And I'm going to evaluate it following our favorite way of evaluating in this group, which is talk about connection, content, and delivery. So I'm going to start with connection tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the way Tammy connected with the group was incredible. From the very first sentence, I saw that she grabbed the attention of everybody. That's a good example of how to connect with the audience. She had eye contact and her gestures were appropriate. And whether intentional or unintentional, because you were asking Akeem to change the slides, you added some pauses that actually, I believe, brought more attention to your presentation. So that worked perfect. Definitely, I can see that you prepare very well because the slide that you choose and the sequence that you use in presenting those slides was a very perfect example, I will say, of how to keep the people connected to your presentation. So nothing to add about connection. You know how to connect with people and you know how people can connect with you. Second, content. Definitely you know your topic. There is no doubt about that. You can see it in the way you prepare your slides again. Very clean, very simple, but all of them to the point. I love the way you use the example of the nitrogen. When you say, I just hear a boom. No other way to, again, to bring that content and to say, this was dangerous. This is something that should have been done from the beginning, that safety was overlooked at that time. So you brought the importance of the whole topic with a single word. Boom. Excellent. And that brings me into delivery. Again, I want to point to the slides. You selected the right slides, very clean, very easy to follow, right, perfect for the topic. So that can tell me that you really prepare well for this presentation tonight. You use the right gestures also during the presentation. So not only you connected with your eyes, but the way you move your head, your hands, your arms was perfect. So good voice intonations. It wasn't monotonic. You actually raised your voice, lowered your voice as you needed. And when you choose your examples, you did it in that way too. So you make emphasis in the way you say, we couldn't believe it, that in the middle of a safety event, we have an accident like that. It couldn't be better than that. And to finish, I think you choose 5, if I'm not incorrect, action items or conclusions or important points that I think that summarize the whole presentation in 5 sentences. So altogether, very good presentation, Tammy. Thank you very much for sharing with us tonight. All right, so our next evaluator for the night is going to be Jessica, is that correct?
Yes.
Jessica is going to be evaluating Soma. So Jessica, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Good evening, Toastmaster, and good evening, Soma. Congratulations for this great speech. I'm so proud of you. Within less than a year, you started maybe only 6 months, and you moved so fast from the first speech all the way to get prepared for the international contest. That's a great, I would say, challenge to all of us, and it's great advance for yourself. So I am going to evaluate also in 3 aspects. The same thing with Jorge, connection, content, and delivery. So connection, first of all, you gave a great intro to Jorge. So when Jorge read out as a Toastmaster about your purpose of the speech, and then the title, and then the introduction of yourself, that bring the audience to your topic already. And then the other thing is you share your first time to get hold of the mandala art. So you said between kids and job and all this stress, you are sometimes like have too much stress, you can't come down. And then you connect with all the audience here too, because all of us have that problem too. But then you told us that you find mandala art and it make you quiet down for 90 minutes. That's incredible. And then for the audience awareness, I think there's something that you can improve on, like what Rafia or Tammy did. They started and then they grab people's attention. So that's something maybe you can improve on. And content, great content. To talk about the mandala, share us with the tools and then the steps, basic tips, and the method for how to perform the mandala art. But the one thing I would suggest for improvement is you choose not use a presentation, that's fine. But then you can bring example of your product to show people who might not be familiar with this term. Then they know, oh, what's that about, right? And then the last but not least, the delivery. You have very clear voice, and then your speed is in very good control, and you pause sometime, that make us to sink in the information you gave us. The things you can maybe improve is your vocal variety, because you're talking about your hobby and your interest. Then you should maybe risk more to share your interest and make us all jump into your interest. And the last but least is call for action. Mandala art is great for you, but it may not be something that people all want to try. But I would suggest you will say, find something will calm your down. So that's maybe create a hobby for other people. That may be a better way to call for action. That's all. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Jessica. Thank you. Thank you. Very good evaluation again. So with this, I see
Excuse
we
me.
are, I'm sorry.
Hi, can I add one point here? Okay,
Go ahead, Soma, go ahead.
Thank you, Jessica, for your evaluation. And this is the speech that I'm thinking that I'll be presenting for the competition, but this speech is not ready yet. So next time I'm gonna present, and I will bring the PowerPoint presentation also.
Okay. All right.
Great.
We will be looking forward for the next presentation for sure. So I know that you are going to do outstanding well.
Yep.
All right. So with this, Mr. Timer, did all the evaluators qualify?
Jessica did not qualify, but I already entered her name. Let's just vote for everyone. I'm cool.
I think
All
that
right.
will be okay for tonight.
All right, so I'm gonna
We have a
launch
lot
it.
of issues with the schedule tonight, so we have to
Yeah,
be a
yeah,
little more
that's right.
flexible.
So please, let's vote.
All right, so if everybody cast their ballot already, I guess we
Yes,
can move.
yes, right now, yes.
All right, so with that, I think we are ready to start the evaluation portion. So I'm going to call our grammarian to provide us with the grammarian report.
All right, thank you, Mr. Jorge. Ralph here, I would say that in terms of your presentation, it was okay. You didn't really say so much of hours, less than 5, which was okay. You did not use the word of the day, so I just wanted you to know that. So next time you can just improve on that as well. Tammy, you used the word of the day, reliable, which was good. There was a phrase which really took my attention, and that is that we should ensure that we enshrine the principles of project management, and then also ensure that in whatever project that we're working on, that we take cautious effort to conduct risk assessment and also have some risk mitigation, maybe approaches or strategies or responses, which is very good. Another thing you also said was that we shouldn't avoid shortcuts. So that was very good. Jorge, you didn't say the odds were less than 5, so that was good. And you also used the word of the day, Jorge. Kalu, Opai, you used the word reliable very well, which is good. And you didn't really use so much of as or arms or so, which was also good as well. Mr. Oni, you didn't. I probably didn't even hear any of the as or arms today, which was very, very good. You also used the word reliable, which was also fantastic. Jessica, you didn't really use any of the words are. I think that is there's so much that I was able to get, but other than that, other speakers, you did very well. And I really can see that we're improving on our R's and on our arms, which is very, very good as well. One thing I would just want us to focus on next time is that we should, be very, very cautious of the word of the day going forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Grammarian and Accountant Report. Thank you for the work well done. So with the next one will be our timer report. King, can you please provide your report?
Very quickly. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. For the prepared speeches, Rafia, 8 minutes, 51 seconds. Tamika, 8 minutes and 17 seconds. Soma, 6 minutes and 17 seconds. For the table topics, Tosin, 1 minute and 28 seconds. Tammy, 1 minute and 24 seconds. Akin, 1 minute and 49 seconds. For the evaluation, Ms. Jones, 2 minutes and 59 seconds. Dr. Ohe Albert, 2 minutes and 59 seconds, interestingly. And then Jessica, 3 minutes and 44 seconds. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much. Great meeting. So I guess now is my turn as a general evaluator to evaluate the meeting. I guess thanks to the weather in Houston, a little bit of rain that we have mid-afternoon completely messed up with the traffic of Houston, and everybody was rushing to try to make it on time for the meeting. But even though this little hiccup in beginning the meeting on time, I don't consider that we start too late, only 5 minutes behind. So given everything, I think that we start the meeting on time. Everybody was ready, everybody ready to go, prepare. We had a good word of the day that, as our grammarian said, we used several times during the meeting. So I guess we are very reliable. Believe we have great introductions, I'm sorry, from all the speakers. They provide the introduction. I just read them. So you guys did a very good job introducing your topics. So thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for sending those ahead of time. So I was able to prepare them and have them ready for the evening. again, everybody was very conscious of the timing. So I think the meeting went really well. So altogether, I will say that we have a very successful meeting, and everybody did their job. And therefore, I think that we have a very good meeting tonight. And with this, I'm just going to turn back to our presiding officer and president of our club, Mr. Akim.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster. Well, with that, I am probably, and in the interest of time, I'm just going to announce the winners, because that should be the Toastmaster, but I will just go ahead and announce the winners real quick. For the prepared speeches, can we please have a little drum roll? And the winner is Tamika Glasper. Congratulations, Tamika, for a great speech. Thank you so very much. The next is table topics. And I'm going to do something different with the table topics. And I'll tell you shortly. Can we have a drum roll, please? Table topics. The person with the highest votes is myself, but I really like to give that winning slot to the runners-up, or is Tosin. Shall we please give Tosin a big round of applause? I only had one more vote than him, so he did very well. Well done, well done. And the third one is evaluation. Now, this one deserves a louder drum roll. Can we please go for the evaluation? The best evaluator tonight is Ms. Jones. Congratulations, Ms. Jones, for a great evaluation. And that is really all about the awards. Now, for my Toastmasters, why? I did not really give Ms. Jones a heads up regarding this. But Ms. Jones, can you please, at this juncture, for about 45 seconds or less, give us one thing that you will refer to as your Toastmasters. Well, why are you in Toastmaster? Why did you join? Or why are you still there? Why are you so excited? Why do you actually motivate some of us to want to join? So just one reason.
Where do you want me to start?
Yeah.
For one thing, members matter most. As you know, most of the people on this platform who know me know that I love people and I love to hear whatever their gift is. And speaking is something that I've always wanted to become a competent speaker. And I always wanted to hear other people's speeches. So basically, I'm going to say that I love Toastmasters, and I encourage you all to continue to do such a marvelous job on this platform. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. We all love you. Thank you so much for all you do for our districts, not just this club, not just your clubs, but for our district. Thank you so very much. At this juncture, I'd really like to go into what I call appreciating our sponsor. As I said,